listening to music, and I wrote a few words, let me show you how I used it. Carefully in your own ears, so we can groove it.
Moving, moving, moving slowly with you. Dipping in and dipping out into tomorrow begins again. Who's living on the Lower East Side?
Who's living on the Lower East Side? Yeah, yeah. The strangest people that I ever saw. Baby got a pretty face, but she broke the law. So the cops threw her on the floor. You can hear her screaming down the halls. Like little Ronnie in the park, he got a dog. And little Sonny in the house, he got a frog. I'm looking out the window, I see the cars and people walking to Midtown in the fog. Now baby girl sitting in the tombs behind the bars. Feels like I'm living in the room, looking up at the stars. Just wondering who's living on the Lower East Side. Yeah.
Who's living on the Lower East Side? Who's living on the Lower East Side? East Side. Who's living on the Lower East Side?
Come on.
Who's living on the Lower East Side? East Side.
So this cat brushed up on me in the store. He looked me in my eyes as I touched the door. He said, "Money, have I seen you before?"
Avenue A, Avenue B, Avenue C, Coney Island, Sunset Park, the other side of Brooklyn streets.
And then we kicked it for a while till I jumped in the crowd and disappeared in the town, just moving around, screaming out loud, drinking, smoking black and mild, acting like a real man child. Just checking out who's living on the Lower East Side.
Who's living on the Lower East Side?
Sing it, yeah.
Who's living on the Lower East Side?
Come on, sing it, yeah.
Who's living on the Lower East Side?
I like that, boy, yeah.
Who's living on the Lower East Side? East Side.
So this is what I see on the Lower East. The strong and the weak praying to the Santa Maria, and to the gods, and to the dreads on Labor Day, waiting for the Jubilee. When we're all breaking free, adding on the 360 degrees. To all my homies coming downtown to Delancey Street, to buy the gold teeth, to read the Village Voice, just to see the freaks staying funky fresh day and night. In the summertime and all the sea. And this is how we swing it from the Cotton Club, 125th Street to the Lower East Side.